Guys, it's Corey here, The Good Oil. I hope you're really well. I'm using this really cool new product called Loom, which allows me to screen share and record at the same time. So it's really cool for teaching stuff, working through things, sending short messages to people. It's the sort of stuff that a couple of years ago you would have paid thousands of dollars to access. So it's a really cool product for people who like to do online stuff like myself. So consider using it. It's called Use Loom, and it's really awesome, and it's entirely free. It just sits up there in your taskbar and you click on it and away you go. You can do this sort of stuff with a little box in the bottom and a shared screen, or you can do just a whole shared screen. I really like it. Now, I did a video the other day talking about the seat switcher process, which is something I genuinely use, and I recommend people use this as well. It's kind of a thinking process which gets you to look at your business from your customer's perspective and really get to the nuts and bolts of what you do and who your ideal person is and how you can communicate it to them effectively. So what I'm going to do, guys, I've got some information here. This is called the Good Oil Seat Switch process. That's what it is. It's kind of how I switch into thinking mode once I get a new client or someone who's doing a consult with me. People come my way, and my first question is, are you keen to grow your business? The answer is invariably yes. And at that point, I switch modes into this seat switcher process. It's a mind switch. I'll explain it to you now as we work through these couple of slides. It's going to be basic, but it's going to give you the nuts and bolts of how you can understand your ideal client better and get the message to them. It's really important. I've got a story at the finish about a good mate of mine, and the example I give you will help you understand why you do this thing. So point number one is context. So once we are looking at your business, I want to understand the context. So who is your best customer and your most profitable customer? So please understand who that is. So think about that person first before you look at marketing and how we're going to get that message to this person. Who is that person? So sometimes I might get you to say, okay, well, tell me about some of these people. Tell me about, don't use their name, but tell me about 2 or 3 of your most profitable customers in your business. Tell me about who these people are, how old they are, what they do, what they like, who they're friends with, all that sort of stuff. And then think, is this your ideal customer? So who's your best customer now? Is this your ideal customer? When I say best customer, it might not necessarily be most profitable. You might have a profitable customer who causes lots of problems and makes life a bit of a hassle. So just think in the context of, who would you like to build this business for? Because that's who we're going to work towards attracting. Okay, so who is this ideal person, and describe them in as much detail as possible to me. Where they live, the groups they're in, the books they read, what school their kids go to, what car they drive, all that sort of stuff, because we can use that information as we market your business to find these people more effectively than what you've ever done before. So once I've got that context and that baseline information about who your business is actually for, who you're trying to reach, we can then, what I call the seat switch 12-year-old. Now, what does that mean? So my superpower in marketing is I can turn back into a 12-year-old inquisitive kid and ask questions with no fear of what you think of me. Okay, so I'll say that again. I'll turn into a 12-year-old kid and I will ask the stupid question to clarify stuff. Now, the reason I do that is because often you'll pitch your business. You might be in a business to business meeting or a business to consumer meeting, and the person you're talking to does not understand what you're talking about. That probably happens far more than you realize. At that point, that's where I turn into a 12-year-old kid and I just ask the obvious questions. What do you mean by that? Make it clearer. I still don't get it. What do you mean? And I then think about my kids and think, will they understand the product you're talking about? The features, not that they care, because they care about the benefits. Do they understand that you are the business that's going to give them what they want? Is that clear to a 12-year-old? And I'll just keep asking questions until I get it absolutely clearly. Make it understandable. Make your elevator pitch entirely understandable. For example, the Good Oil helps small businesses get more customers. The rest doesn't really matter. Do you really care if it's Facebook ads, Google ads, Facebook Live, social media work, email, referral, retention. Does it really matter? Not to a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old understands the good oil makes small businesses get more customers that are ideal and profitable. What does your business do? Make it that simple, okay? Make it super simple. Now, I'll tell you a quick story. So I was out running with a good buddy a few weeks ago who, with some colleagues from his job, is making a side venture. Now, they do a couple of things, and we're running along, and he started explaining it to me. The first section is basically A and B part of the business. The first section was tech stuff that I just dead set did not understand. It went straight over my head, and I don't know what he was talking about. Truly, I'm quite tech myself. Networks and servers, I don't get it, right? I don't need to get it. I never will, right? It's just not my thing. Someone else will sort it out. But I let him go with it because we had quite a bit of time to go on the run. And the second part of the B side, the second part of the business was we help businesses with repetitive tasks, systemize it and automate it to save time. And I was like, boom, I get that. I love that. I want that. I could sell the crap out of that for you. That's awesome. I said, dude, that first part, that's really complicated. I don't get it. I ask those questions. I've got no fear of what you think about me when I ask that question, but I can guarantee you when you walk in to sell that to a corporate, there's some guy sitting there who probably bluffed his way into a job who's not prepared to say, I don't get it, because his boss is there and he's just going to keep nodding his head. In the meantime, he's thinking about lunch or what's after lunch or what's going. He's thinking, get me the hell out of here. I don't know what this guy's talking about. But yes, the automation stuff, we understand it. And for my mate, I said, oh, that's kind of like that website, if this, then that. It's like, yeah, boom, exactly. I'm like, mate, that's a game changer. That sort of thing could free up 20 hours a week per employee for a big company. Oh my God, you guys are going to kill it. That first part, I don't get it. Make it easy. And I told him about this 12-year-old seat switch mechanism I use. And it's like, right, yeah, I get it. And I said, dude, it works for me for every single business I consult to. When we break it down into, does a 12-year-old kid understand the benefits of your business, the features and how you do it? Never forget, you're an expert. You've got heaps and heaps of accumulated knowledge about what you do. You're going to blow people away with technical jargon. They're not going to get it. All they need to know is what's the benefit for me and how's that compared to other providers. Okay? If they want to talk about the features and the inner workings of that, that's fine. It's kind of like my business. The engine of what we do is a little bit tech and a little bit individual to how I roll. My retention, referral, email content, all that stuff is a little bit unique to how I roll. The end result is your business growing, yes or no? That's the benefit. That's what we're after. Sell the benefit. So that 12-year-old seat switch is the key to the whole beginning of what we're going to do. Here's your ideal client. How are we going to get it to them in a real easy way? The next part, and this is the final part really, is what's next. Okay, we've nutted it out. The 12-year-old understands what you do. They understand the benefits and how cost-effective your benefit solution is. They kind of get the features, and if they want to know more about that, that's fine. How are we going to reach these people? There's lots of ways, and that's what I help you with. Lots of ways to reach those people. I want to know who they are, and we want to know that the message is clear, and let's get it to them. And then how we're going to measure that process. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap this video up right now. All right, because I don't want to overwhelm you. I want you to think about that stuff. I want you to ask me questions in the comments below, and then we'll get rocking and rolling to make it work for you guys. I'm going to wrap it up, and we will talk soon. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.